What's going on, guys? Zeus here. And here's the thing. I decided to make a video series, or make a couple of videos about some of the things that women don't understand about men. And here's why. I was watching a couple of videos with feminists specifically talking about masculinity and how bafflingly ignorant they were on the topic. And then I noticed there are lots of things that some women, just don't really understand about men. And on my channel, I spend a lot of time analyzing female nature and helping young men understand why girls do the things they do to the best of my abilities. Of course, there are lots of things I still do not know, lots of things that still confuse me, but I try to help people with what I do know as best as I can to try to help, fix the problem that's going on in the dating room and in relations men and women have with each other. And so I thought, I spend a lot of time chatting about women, and every now and again I will talk about why men do the things they do, probably to help some other girls who pass by my channel, to kind of help them out, with their relationships with and how they deal with the opposite sex. And so I figured, I might make a couple of videos where I do that some more, really go into depth, helping women understand men and how men kind of relate. And so, it kind of helped me out. I asked a female friend of mine to send me some things she doesn't understand about men. And there seems to be a general consensus a lot of women have with their issues with dealing with men. So hopefully I can probably help them out here in this video. And hopefully we can try to help men and women get along some more. So, like I said, a female friend of mine sent me some questions to be chatted about men. So let's get this started. First question: why don't men share their feelings like how they truly feel? That's an easy one. That's really easy. Here's the thing. When you're a man, when you're a young boy, you kind of grow up with the understanding that a lot of people don't give a shit about your problems. Growing up, I used to cry a lot. I used to be very sensitive. Like, I'm still pretty sensitive now. I still cry in some, different movies and different TV shows. But when I was younger, I used to be really sensitive. I used to cry a lot. And the thing is, a lot of people didn't really give a shit about what I was crying about. I used to get made fun of a lot for crying. A lot of people didn't care about my problems. I used to actually get in trouble at home with my mom and dad. My mom and dad used to get mad at me if I cried a lot, and so kind of growing up in life, I kind of realized early on, people don't fucking care, if you cry, people, crying doesn't solve your problems, crying doesn't do anything for you, and there's a point in my life, where I kind of became very nonchalant too, and I just didn't really care, and it was partly because, like I say, a lot of people, they didn't care about my problems when I cried, no one ever tried to help me out. And that's a really sad thing, so as a man, you go through life, and you realize early on that people don't care, that most of society doesn't give a shit, and that you have to fix your own problems. And so a lot of men kind of learn to internalize a lot of that. And if you never get taught how to deal with your problems, you will get a lot of, really aggressive men coming up. And that's why a lot of men don't share their feelings. They kind of figure out early on that people don't care, and so they don't say anything about it. Alright, and now the second reason why a lot of young men do not share their feelings is actually because of women. A lot of men, a lot of young boys kind of realize early on that being emotional, being all that really nice and saccharine, sweet young man, will get them in the friend zone, or will not get them the result they want with girls. And they realize that a lot of women don't want emotional men. And so, in order to get what they want, which is a relationship and to have sex with a woman, they're not very receptive or emotional, which then becomes very ironic, throughout the course of the relationship, because, these guys, they're not stupid. They realize, if I'm emotional, if I'm really open, then I become unattractive to some women, or even a woman I'm with, but at the same time, she wants me to talk to her and express how I feel, and if I do that, then you can't really win when you don't have young women kind of accepting the fact that you can be emotional, and I see this a lot where women will complain about this, and say, well, guys don't talk and guys aren't receptive, but at the same time, you'll never see these women be with these emotional men who kind of talk, and that's because they're not attracted to them in that manner. And men realize that, and so they don't fucking do it. because it doesn't get them what they want. And men are going to do what works. If it doesn't work, they're going to change and they're going to do something different. So that's why. Now, that's why a lot of guys are not really open with their emotions. There's two reasons why. And I guess the third reason why some men kind of just don't learn how to express themselves. And that's kind of an extension of the first reason, because a lot of people don't care or talk to them, so they never really learn how to really cope with their problems and express how they feel. So, second question. Why don't men be upfront about their intentions? Well, see, think about all that. I guess I will make the assumption that you mean, why aren't men upfront about, them wanting to have sex with you? And the reason why is actually pretty simple. It's because if you express sexual interest in a woman and she's not attracted to you, and she'll take a step back, and a lot of women react very negatively to that. And I kind of figured it out the other day. I was on the Everyday Sexism Project. It's a Tumblr where lots of women talk about everyday sexism they face, which is ironically very rare and obscure things that don't normally happen. And one woman said, I got a message from a guy the other day who said he wanted to, lick my vagina, like he wanted to do something sexual to her. I can't remember specifically what it was. And she said it was like, ew, gross, disgusting. And so then I started thinking to myself, I was like, wait a minute, I mean, like, if we live in this, sex positive, sex free society, where it's okay for women to have sex and, no one calls you a slut, then why would a woman react negatively to a man who wants to have sex with her? I don't understand. If women want to have sex, why is expressing the fact you want to have sex to a woman causing her to react that way? And the answer is because a lot of women are taken aback when you're really upfront about how you feel. A lot of women don't know how to deal with upfront honesty. I know I personally kind of dealt with that, even just emotionally. I would tell girls how I felt, just put it on the table, and they would always be taken aback by it, and they wouldn't know how to respond to the fact that I was so open and honest with them. And so that's the two things. One, a lot of women react negatively to when you just express sexual interest in them, as if it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And a lot of women don't know how to respond to open and honest men. So men, again, do what works. So they kind of work around, and it does get on a level of manipulation sometimes, because, to be honest, there are some bad people in the world. And yeah, that's why. It is honestly a response to how women deal with men. At least as far as I know. That's kind of what I've learned going through life. Being upfront and honest with some women will make them react negatively to you. Third question. Why do they feel the need to cheat? Well, here's the thing about that. I think men really like variety, to put it bluntly. I'm attracted to lots of different women, and so I think a lot of guys cheat because they can. I've noticed that the way some women handle guys cheating on them is they'll be like an explosion of anger, and they'll bitch about it and they'll cry, but they'll stay with them, they'll stay with the man who cheats on her. But I've noticed the way men handle women cheating is some of them, they don't even talk anymore. They're just like, get out of my house. Like men, you cheat on them, it crushes a man's spirit, and it really hurts a man. But women, as much as it might hurt them, they'll stay. And I think a lot of guys cheat because they can. I mean, they say, I can, all these girls are throwing themselves at me, I may as well take some. And then I have her in the back. I mean, if she's going to stay, she's going to stay. I think that's what it is. I think a lot of the times, a lot of men cheat, because, again, like I said, because they can. Because girls are throwing themselves at them for some odd reason. Some girls like to have sex or like to be with men or like to take men from other girls. I don't know what it is about that. Some women love to do that shit. One reason why some guys cheat, honestly, is actually because, and this usually happens more in marriages than in just like long-term relationships, is that their wife won't give them a lot of attention that they want or the attention that they crave. And a lot of men love to feel appreciated, and if you're not giving that to him, he's going to go find a woman who really appreciates him. So not all men cheat simply for sexual reasons. Some men cheat because they want to feel loved, they want to feel appreciated. Those are some kind of baseline reasons as to why some men cheat. I don't really think it's not certainly a need. I don't think I mean, I think that's just the way you worded the question, but it certainly isn't like a need to cheat. You know, so there's that. Do they like seeing a girl hurt? Well, that's an interesting question. You know, with the implications of are men sadistic? And I would say, no, I don't think it's. I mean, to be fair, are there some sadistic people in the world? Yeah, absolutely. But I think for the most part, I don't think it's sadistic. I think it's apathetic. I think a lot of guys don't care about the way some women feel. You know, I think some men don't give a shit. They just want what they want. And unfortunately, that's an unfortunate part in our society. You know, when a lot of women, for some odd reason, are really fucking attracted to that. I know exactly why they're attracted to that. I won't get into any of this video. I know why, but to put it bluntly, it's stupid. Women will try to make men who don't care about them care, and that's why these girls will end up getting hurt, because they tried to date someone who didn't fucking care about them. You know, and so it's not that these men are sadistic, it's that they don't care, and that, ironically, is the allure that some women have for these men. There's that answer. Do they enjoy hurting a human being emotionally? I mean, I guess that's an extension of the first question. No, I don't. Again, I don't think it's sadistic. I think, you know, a lot of girls pick men who don't care with the intentions of trying to make them care, and they fail, and that's where the emotional pain comes from. Are they able to truly love anyone but themselves? Now, that question is really telling, I think, of the type of men you've kind of had to have been dealing with, because the answer to that question is abso-fucking-lutely. You know, that question, that's a strange question to even be asked. I mean, like, you've had to have dealt with some terrible people if you have to ask, are men able to love people outside of themselves? Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. Men love women. You know, you're going to find more men who love women than you are ever going to find men who want to treat women badly. You will. Absolutely. The answer, yes. The answer to that question is a resound, fucking hell yes. Absolutely. Men love women in general. And you'll find more men who love women than you'll ever find men who want to hurt women. And so, evidently, based on a question like that, you must have had to been dealing with some pretty terrible people. I don't know. Second to last question, do they ever think that what they have done to hurt someone is wrong and that they shouldn't do it again? And that's the last question. Yeah. Do some men kind of grow, become adults, learn, and stop doing that shit? Absolutely. Absolutely. Some men will, you know, kind of start out without caring, and over time they'll become more mature. I guess sometimes it's not even apathy. I think it's immaturity. You know, some men just don't know how to handle their feelings or handle other people's feelings. You know, and it might be an unfortunate thing for relationships, but they're not bad people. It's just ignorance, and they're just, you know, they don't know what to do. But yes, the answer to that question is yeah. Some men, you know, some men kind of have to learn that what they're doing might hurt other people, and then they'll grow up and they'll be better, and they won't do it anymore. Other guys, again, they don't care. But the thing is, you know, the men who don't care, they are few and far between. You know, you're not going to find a lot of men who are very apathetic towards women. And if they did become that way, it is partly because of women themselves. Like, lots of men in our society genuinely do care about women. And, you know, the guys, I guess evidently you've had to been experiencing, you've been around lots of men who don't care. But the truth of the matter is, there are lots of men who wish to do nothing more but love women. You know, so hopefully, those are just a couple of questions she asked me. And hopefully this has helped some young ladies kind of understand the psychology of men. And hopefully they understand that, you know, there are bad men, absolutely. But there are a lot more good men in the world. And a lot of men in general get a bad rap. But there are great men in the world. And absolutely, men can love women. You know, so that's part of what this video and channel is about, is restoring the virtue of men. There are lots of good men. And it's not even a chore to find them, honestly. It's not even hard to find a good man. Good men are all around you. They have built society, and they wish you nothing more than love you and take care of you. So, with that being said, man, I certainly hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you did, man, go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment box below. And as always, have a great day. I will see you cool cats soon. Adios.